EP's mobile coverage is brought to you by Gameloft, makers of Asphalt 8 Airborne, which you can play on your Android or iOS device for free right now.
Marissa and I have found our way to Central Park in the heart of New York City because we figured we wanted to talk about space strategy games.
Yeah, so why not come to Central Park to do that?
Seems fitting.
Makes
That's why
so
we are
much
talking
sense.
about some Sentinel Command on the old iPad. What did you think?
I normally don't like deep space, but I do when it involves strategy. You have a lot to do, you have a lot to manage, you have a lot of big decisions to make. A lot of those decisions come from how many ships you're going to deploy to fend off enemies, because you have to defend different towers that are cultivating for your area of the galaxy. You have a lot of real estate here that you need to protect.
The ship's getting real.
This ship is getting real, it's true. And I know when you jump into this thing at first, you're gonna think, oh my God, these graphics suck, because they're not that exciting, especially the loading screen. I'm not really sure what's happening.
Yeah, it looks like a very pastel-y version of the ship. You're like, all right.
Okay.
Wait and finish up the loading graphic.
It's a little Iron Man-y. Like there's, those mustard, and there are just some colors there that I found a little bit off-putting.
She doesn't like mustard. What can you do? I'm a ketchup guy myself.
But the actual gameplay is the core of this thing. It's what we're reviewing, and I really did enjoy it. There's a whole map here to look at and survey. The thing that confused me, though, was learning where the enemies were. There are enemies hiding in your galaxy.
It's more like a waiting game.
The galaxy.
It feels like it's just like a waiting game. You're looking at your overview map and you're like, holy crap. There are all these different locations scattered throughout like these 6 provinces that you have to make sure that don't get taken over by the enemy. You're like, well, all right, I just got to make sure my Kernwall peeps are excited with my actions because I don't want to step on any toes.
It's
and
true.
Then like at first it's easy.
Yeah.
Enemies start attacking you, you're like, boom, I'm gonna go in with my ships.
Sure, you're gonna up your shield, and then you're gonna upgrade everything when you're done that. There's so many upgrades to be had here. It feels so good to upgrade. I love it so much.
Yeah, and you have different kinds of weapons too, so it's not just necessarily like, at first I was just going in and attacking.
Yeah.
That's what I was doing.
Yeah.
Blowing stuff up.
It's a good strategy.
Blowing these ships to smithereens, if you will. And then you got started getting attacked by multiple ships and you have to strategize. You're like, well, this guy's hitting me now. I gotta sort of back off, use my shields, waste my turn. I don't use attacks, use some shield. Maybe I'm gonna scan him, so I'm gonna know how to attack, so I don't just necessarily try to attack and keep missing, which can't happen.
I'm gonna keep playing this thing, are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun, right?
Yeah. I wanna see what happens.
Okay, so what
in
is
space battles.
In space battles, it's true. There's just a lot to do. Sure, it doesn't look, fantastic, but listen, I don't care.
It's fun.
I'm enjoying my turn-based strategy time in space.
That's right. Me too. That's why I'm giving Sentinel Command an 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah, it gets a 9 from me.